Welcome to It's Giving Sus, the podcast where the line between the intriguing and the unsettling is blurred. Every episode, we dive deep into the world of true crime and scandals, bringing you the most suspicious and jaw-dropping stories from around the world. There's so much crazy stuff going on, and we need to talk about all of it. Bizarre happenings, scams, cults, crimes, or controversial figures, we're here to dissect it all. Nothing is off limits. Join us as we unpack and comprehend this episode's story. And remember, if it's giving sus, stay curious and stay skeptical.
Warning. This episode contains discussion of extremely sensitive topics. Please check the show notes for more details before proceeding. We ask that you please take caution when listening. If you or someone you know is in need of resources, please check the episode notes for more information. Thank you for listening.
Welcome back to another episode of It's Giving Sus, the podcast where we went missing for a couple months, but things happened and we're back, and maybe our Patreon members will find out the tea of why we were back. And I think we cursed ourselves because we were like, no matter what, day or shine, hospital, not hospital, we will be here every Monday. We were indeed not here every Monday. We have valid reasons. We just cannot disclose them at this time to the public.
Yes.
We'd like to bring you another episode. And
It's a crazy one.
Meg, you know me. You know I'm kind of like anything for the plot.
Yeah.
And when I do a bit, I commit. Whatever it is, it's 100%. And
Yes.
today's suspect trumps that.
Yeah.
Takes it so far. The commitment to this bit is actually insane.
Yeah.
And I have to only applaud Sherri Papini at this point. Acting, commitment, dedication,
Yes.
and perseverance to keep up with this for 6 years.
So long.
Honestly, an American icon at this point. This is satire, clearly. Sherri Papini also did some really, really horrible things besides committing to her bit. She touched on racism. She touched on women's rights and freedoms and survivor stories. And she really did a lot of damage.
A true American
Patriot. God bless America.
God bless.
So our story starts with a fairy tale couple. Like, she looks like Barbie / Marilyn Monroe. Blonde hair, blue eyes. And he's kind of like the normal Ken, you know? Like,
yeah.
He's got a good build and he's brown hair, and they met in high school but then reconnected later in life. So it's kind of like this whole fairy tale story situation. They live in Northern California and they settle down, get married, have a couple kids, and, you know, everything's just amazing. The American dream,
Yes.
one might say. Until one day in November 2016, Keith Papini, Ken, the Ken doll in this story, he arrives home from his job at Best Buy, expecting to be greeted by his wife and kids per normal day. Well, nobody's there. There's no babies there. They weren't picked up from daycare. And Sherri is also nowhere to be found. He checks the location and finds her phone is at the end of their driveway. At that point, he decides to go look. Like, where are you? Hello?
Mm-hmm. And like some headphones with it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
when he gets there, what does he find? Like, what does he stumble upon?
It's just her phone and like some headphones. And I think like a little piece of her hair wrapped in it. Or something like that. Yeah.
Right. And at this time, Keith is thinking that Sherri is training for a marathon, so she went out for a run. But it's not really making sense that, like, the kids weren't picked up, and why is her phone with hair and headphones on the ground?
Right.
It's not adding up.
Does he call the police?
He calls the cops, and he's, like, panicked, and we hear all this audio. Like, it's out there. It's all public now. And he is panicked, and he automatically says, I think somebody took her, which is a little suspect because how do you know that? Why? Maybe she fell in a bush. Maybe she got eaten by a bear. Why do you just automatically expect that somebody took her?
Yeah, that is a little weird.
A little bit weird.
I've just, you know me. Yeah, I have thoughts on him.
You've gotten the vibes.
I've gotten the
that
vibes.
A little something is off with Keith.
Yeah. It's also just the name Keith. My dad's name's Keith, so I'm just like immediately like
side eye. Yeah.
Okay.
Keith follows us, so don't do that to your dad. God.
Just kidding.
Love ya.
So love you.
The search is on, right? They have this whole community of Redding, California, which is kind of small, mountain town, like slower pace of life kind of vibes. They're doing all the search parties, getting the cops involved, and just really hoping that this lady shows up because we can't find her and we have her phone with headphones and hair.
Yeah. Eventually, he offers a reward too. He goes like on ABC News. He does this whole thing, this whole interview, and he's like, it's so excruciating to think about what could be happening to her right now. And just like all this, the huge, right?
And I remember he talked even about like, I'm just wondering if she's like hot or if she's cold or if she was calling my name. Like my man was going through it and I don't blame him. I would be too.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm just waiting for her phone call. I just have a feeling she's going to call. But he kept like saying stuff like that, which again, like the whole like, oh, she probably got taken. And then he's like, oh, I know she's going to call. I'm like waiting for her call.
How do you know that?
Like, how do you know that?
She doesn't even have her phone.
Yeah. Who's she going to call, bro? Does she remember your number? I sure fucking don't remember anyone's numbers. That's for sure. Like, if I'm ever like in a hostage situation, they're like, call somebody. I'm going to be like,
911.
Sorry, 911. I don't know. Help me.
Don't call
me. Can you give me my contacts?
Out of anything, don't call me.
No, definitely not you. You won't answer.
I'm the friend that everybody tags on Instagram or whatever that's like, you have a gun to your head. You have to call one person who won't answer.
Yeah.
I'm always tagged.
Yeah.
Respectfully, I'm sorry.
Hey, each their own,
Right. At least I know my place.
Yes, you know.
And I also get tagged in the ones that are like the friend that's always late.
I love that. I love that we all just know you, though. But he eventually like makes a GoFundMe, offers a reward to find her, and the GoFundMe ended up raising $50,000.
Right.
That's a lot of money.
It is. And these were to go towards like the search efforts and like the bills of the family and all of these things. And one thing that I really admired about Keith Papini and his love for his wife and dedication was he, during this time of her missing, was out there like interviewing, putting flyers, doing the deal. He even went to the city council meeting and was like, can I just like tell everybody here that my wife is missing and like put it up on the projector? And they're like, well, we normally don't do things like that, but like, yeah.
You're
so
here.
I'm like, yeah, Jen Soto could never, right? Like 10 out of 10 for effort of finding his wife. So he's doing everything. He's doing the most, all of it. At this point, they don't know really where else to go, what else to do. The detectives are looking through financial records, her phone records and emails, just trying to like find anything out. Keith is considered a suspect or a person of interest because always it's going to be the family that is closest to the person, and then they work their way out. He is interviewed, he is cooperating, and he takes a polygraph and passes it.
Yeah, they do like a whole interview with him too. And
he passes and they start moving their way into other kind of theories. And I have those theories written down of what people thought could have happened to Sherri.
Okay, interesting.
If I can share these.
Yes, I can't wait because I actually don't know these. Because I think we watched different videos and stuff on this, which is good. Maybe we should start doing that and not watch the same things.
That's not fun. But the whole reason that we are talking about this case is because Hulu released a 3-part series about Sherri Papini. Because this has happened now in 2016. Like, it's been a while, but everybody's kind of talking about it because of this new documentary.
Yeah.
And Keith, we hear from him.
And I think she just recently went to court.
She did.
Yes.
She did.
Yes.
On
so
that unrelated thing. So there's a few theories going around Northern California of what could have happened to Sherri. The first one is there's a lot of meth houses. It's kind of crack country up there. Siskiyou County, it's one of the worst counties, if not the worst, in California. It's very white people, trailer, methy vibes.
Ohio.
Okay. It's the Ohio of California.
I love that.
Respectfully.
Home.
There was also 25 sex offenders in a 3-mile radius of the Papini house.
Wow.
Yeah. Scary considering she has 2 young children.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like respectfully the armpit scumbag bill of California.
Damn.
Up there.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that at all.
A little wild. Some people are thinking that this is a hoax, that this is made up, that this never happened, and there's trickery going on. Other people have considered the angle of sex trafficking, which, from my perspective, made a lot of sense.
She was a good-looking woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people get kidnapped and when they're out for a run, and people get assaulted and many things. So from my perspective, if I had to guess any of those, it was probably the sex trafficking. Like, I don't know. I know nothing.
My mind goes to like she's doing some shady shit.
Instantly?
But that's just me.
Instantly, it does.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like that would have been my theory, you know, like
she's up to no good.
Yeah. Because like when you look at their marriage and you like look back at how like in the Hulu documentary, like how they were kind of presenting like how they met. It was like this crazy love story and like they were just so perfect for each other, high school sweethearts and like picturesque family with the kids and like so successful and we're so happy, you know, and a lot of the times when things look like that, it's not like that.
And she was described as a super mom. Like, someone made the comparison that, like, if it was, like, a birthday situation and they were going to do a cake, she wouldn't only do the cake. She would be doing, like, the extravagant, like, a clown's going to jump out of it. Like, over and above to have, like, this perfect household image. And that's the name of the documentary is The Perfect Wife, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something like that.
Something
or like
that.
The perfect, something like that.
So your theory is from all of this, like, superficial surface level stuff.
Yeah. That, like if I didn't know all the other shit, right? I'd be like, maybe she's up to something. Maybe she wants to leave her life. Maybe she wants to leave her husband. Maybe she wants to leave her kids.
Right.
We've seen that happen as well.
Yes. Honestly, sometimes I just want to disappear a little bit.
Me too.
A bit.
Yeah.
Help
especially
me.
Recently.
Yeah.
Help. I'm blinking. So she's gone for 22 days total. And then on Thanksgiving Day, she was found on a highway 146 miles away from Redding. Injuries all covering her body, had a brand on her shoulder, bruises everywhere. Her hair was cut. She was tied up also.
With a chain.
Yes.
And a woman saw her on the side of the freeway. And she was waving like a shirt around, like trying to get attention. And this lady stopped. Brave woman. But
yeah, no,
she
never
just,
be me. I'll just call 911.
Yeah, and so she called 911 and the cops come and it's about 4 a.m. Thanksgiving morning. And yay, she's found.
Here she is.
She's dropped off.
Just on the side of the highway.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking in my head, like, she could have played this differently. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and we'll put a pin in that because we have to get into the deets of what actually happened. But like, I feel like she didn't think this one through.
No.
Yeah.
I really don't think
I mean,
so either.
hindsight, of course, but like,
if you're going to do something like this, like,
think
it through a little
Think
bit.
it through.
Yeah, just a little.
So they find her, they take her to the hospital.
She's like, I need my husband. I just want to see my husband. She's like freaking the fuck out. She won't talk to detectives. She won't talk to nurses, doctors, nobody. She's like, my husband needs to get here right fucking now. And then he shows up and he's like, dude, the way she looked, like she was covered in bruises. She looked emaciated. He said that she always had very long blonde hair. They chopped it off. So when like he saw her, he was like, shit.
She was looking rough.
She was looking a little rough.
And she lost 30% of her body fat or mass.
And she was already like nothing.
In 22 days.
That's crazy.
So she was looking like the hiker.
Yeah.
The mostly harmless hiker.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really fucked up. But that's how she looked.
No, yeah.
She's been through it. She's down bad.
Mm-hmm.
A few days later, when she is released, the detectives want to start talking to her to figure out what the hell has happened, who took you, how did this happen, and just get these people arrested.
Mm-hmm. She initially tells the detectives her abductors told her she was going to be trafficked to someone in law enforcement.
That just lays on another level, but to rewind us, she said she was out checking the mail or for a jog and 2 Hispanic women pulled up in an SUV and they abducted her. One had a pistol and one, or a revolver, and the other one was like the accomplice. And she said, I pulled out my hair because I knew my husband would see it and find me and would know that it's whatever, right?
She said there was 2 women. There was an older and a younger one, Sherri Papini told police, and they were Hispanic and they spoke Spanish a lot. She was reluctant to speak, and then eventually the officers were like, okay, like, do you want your husband to sit in?
And I think she was playing the bit of like reluctance to speak because she was scared of cops now, because they said they were going to sex traffic her to police.
Yes. I know. Crazy. So she does the second interview and she says something like, I don't know you guys. Like, I don't know if you're in my corner, but I know my husband's in my corner. So he needs to be here. So they allow it, whatever. And then so she says during the second interview, she claims again 2 Latina women abducted her at gunpoint, took her in an SUV to a location where she was chained up. After that, the police start working with what they have. It took them a year to come up even with composite sketches of what that these 2 Latina women might look like.
Right.
Because like she couldn't say what they looked like. She couldn't give them any sort of fucking information, details, height, body build, hair color, nothing.
But she did give a lot of details about other things.
Yes.
And reasons why she couldn't escape, and just a lot of like, it was a lot of talking with not a lot of information.
Mm-hmm. Like you saw they were Hispanic women. You couldn't have seen anything else about
and
them?
gray hairs.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then she describes her situation of where they were holding her captive. And she says that she is tied up in a closet to a pole with a cable. And the pole goes like up into the ceiling through, I guess let's envision a stripper pole. I don't know, really. And there's a cable around her. And that's how she is detained. She has to use the restroom in a 5-gallon bucket. But they did let her shower sometimes. And in the shower, she remembers a cracked tile and a very generic, just simple, cheap shower head. Like these are the details we're working off, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 Hispanic women. One has a little bit of gray hair, and they have a closet and a shower with a normal shower head. She has no idea where it was. The windows were boarded up. She said she lost track of time, so she doesn't know how long they drove with her in the car. There was a bag over her head. She was laying down in the back seat, yada, yada, yada. They keep on pressing on with the investigation. We're not really going off of much. She gives them details about the table that she was branded on. She gives them details about how it hurt so bad, how they had her positioned on that table because of her implants. People were speculating that she was telling these male detectives these details about like her implants in her breast so that they would be like kind of switch away from the subject.
That's so weird.
It's like pathological.
Yeah.
Yeah. They eventually get DNA back from Sherri's clothes.
Yes.
And this is what really kind of flips this case on its head, okay? They get the DNA. There's no matches. And this has already been a couple years. This is like drawn out. She's not giving details. And they're like, finally, the DNA. Like, we'll have something. Not a single hit comes up.
Actually, something did come up, though, but it was male.
The detectives had to go to the courts to get permission to search things like 23andMe to see if there was any relatives.
Oh, shit.
And they did. They got a match, and the person had 2 sons. So they were like, it's one of these 2 sons are matching this DNA. Because apparently the dad did the 23andMe. Don't do those.
Please don't do
unless
those DNA things.
Unless you're sponsoring us and you're not a criminal, go ahead. But that's how they find him. So what are the odds that one of these 2 sons with the DNA is Sherri Papini's ex-boyfriend?
Yep.
What are the odds?
Yep.
1 in a trillion?
Honestly, too. This is where they kind of start going like, I don't know if this is adding up. And then they look at her phone records, too, and they found that like a couple days leading up to her abduction, she was talking to like several men.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She was.
Yeah.
She was on that hot girl shit, you know?
Yeah.
They go down and visit this man whose DNA is on Sherri Papini's clothes. He's in Southern California. They knock on the door and say, we need to know what you know about Sherri. And when's the last time you saw her? Did you know that she is missing? And like, they already know what's going on, but they have to kind of ease their way into this situation. About an hour into the interrogation at this guy's house, he cracks. He's like, yeah, she asked me to come get her. We are old friends. And I did. And they start asking questions about all of the bruises and the branding and all of this shit that she came home with. Do you remember what he says?
No.
Girl. All right. So she starts basically restricting her diet. She locks herself up in the room, boarded up, blacked out windows. So like it's like method acting, I think, is really what was going on there. She was just really playing the part.
Wow.
So she stops eating a lot. So she's losing a lot of weight. And she would inflict these bruises upon herself during the times that he was at work. Now, this gentleman worked at a hockey rink. He loves hockey. He's a hockey dude, okay? So there's a lot of pucks and sticks around.
Oh, okay.
And he says to the detectives, there was one time that she asked me to hit her with the puck. So I did. Not very hard, but I did it to her shins. And then she broke her own nose with the hockey stick with him pushing it against her face.
Bro.
All right, hold on. I got thoughts on this man, but I got to tell one more part. They ask him about the branding. And the branding, like you do to a cow with a hot freaking thing on her back, says Exodus, which is also ironic because that means you're escaping captivity.
It's also a Bible thing too, because I think she goes back and forth. The first thing she says is like, it's religious.
She said that like the people who were gonna buy her, it was like a more like they like wanted that on the women they buy.
Totally.
But the truth be told, God bless America. This man who was helping Sherri Papini and assisting her self-inflicted abuse with the hockey sticks goes to Hobby Lobby and buys this freaking branding thing, okay? Because Hobby Lobby would definitely have an iron that says Exodus for sale for $12.99 and a coupon on Saturdays. They're not open on Sundays because of church, but they would definitely have that.
Absolutely.
And they went and got it.
It's like one of those stamp things, right?
Yes.
That you're supposed to dip it in ink.
No, it's like big.
Oh.
Well, it was like her whole shoulder.
Like this big,
so,
right?
I mean, it was metal. It had to be metal. It couldn't be rubber. It'd melt.
Yeah.
So whatever your little fireplace decoration is, or for your cows, maybe you have a cow aesthetic in your home, they had it. What are the odds?
Fucking crazy.
It's honestly batshit.
Dude, a Hobby Lobby, you wildin', dog.
Hobby Lobby? Dude, do you
Ooh.
know the lore of Hobby Lobby?
I do, actually.
With the artifacts?
Oh, wait, no.
Yes, the religious lore, but they basically imported illegal, like, Christian artifacts from, like, Jerusalem under the Hobby Lobby, like, oh, we're getting plates and shit, and it was all illegal.
What the fuck?
Millions and millions of dollars.
Did they sell it, or they just... What do they do with
had
it?
it in, like, the Hobby Lobby fucking museum shrine shit. Like, I don't fucking know. But, like, no, dude, they got, like, busted for, like, illegal imports and things.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, like, of these, like, ancient artifacts from Jesus Christ himself. God bless America.
God fucking bless America, dog.
Truly, I would love a Hobby Lobby sponsorship, though, and get so many crap.
Oh, my God.
They'll
All the
never.
bedazzles.
Anyways, so fuck Hobby Lobby and fuck getting branded on the shoulder voluntarily.
That's fucking insane.
If I can take you guys back to the beginning of this clip when I said the dedication and commitment to the bit, this is what I'm talking about. She broke her own nose and voluntarily said, hit me with the hockey puck. And then voluntarily got branded. For fucking what? For fucking what?
For funsies?
Like, I want to escape too, okay? I really do. I feel for you. But guess what? I'm going to fucking Hawaii. I'm going to Cancun. I'm coming back bronzed and skinny and fucking with a BBL or something. I'm not coming back with a fucking branding iron on my fucking shit.
And a broken note, yeah.
And guess what? You know what? I've thought this through.
truly, I've had a lot of time to reflect, okay? I would have said that I was in a manic episode. Go to the little grippy sock hospital and play that bit out.
Yeah. Take a little vacation from your kids, your husband. That's nice, right?
Yeah, but like, okay, I'm missing and for 3 weeks and then like I come back. Like, she didn't have to do all of that. She could have just said, like, I literally needed some space. That's not illegal.
It's so weird.
She could have literally said, I went to a guy's house. That's not illegal. She literally could have said, I was on a sick one mentally and went fucking like in a manic episode. She could have said she was on a meth binge. Like, honestly, there were so many other things she could have done besides beat the shit out of herself and brand herself.
Yeah.
But maybe she was doing that because of the guilt. I don't know.
The guilt of what?
Leaving her kids?
Yeah, maybe.
I guess. But the weirdest part is that, like, she and him it wasn't even like a romantic thing. They didn't sleep together. They didn't have sex. He passed that on the polygraph and she didn't have like the DNA like in her, whatever. I thought like during this whole thing that like she wanted to like restart her life. She wanted to go off with this dude, her ex, and live in this new life without her kids. But no, that's why I'm so confused. Like, for fucking what?
Because she ran right back to her husband.
Yeah.
I was like, I need my husband. Like, what the fuck? See, that's like another level of being like sociopath, psychopath. Like, there's different ways you can be those things. And like, this is, bro, I broke my nose. Do you know how much pain that is? It hurts like a and for your mental to be like,
give it to me.
Like,
I'm kind of relating to her. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I'm
to
kind
feel
of
something,
feeling,
right?
I'm kind of feeling it. Yeah. But the branding, though.
The branding is actually crazy. I think the nose and the branding is like crazy, like the puck, whatever. But like
the puck's crazy.
The puck's a little crazy. But like those shoe things, like, I don't know, man.
That's next level. And it's one thing, like, I'm relating to her because like there's some shit that's been going on. But like everything was the perfect wife, the perfect life, the perfect kids. So why did she have this like need to go and do all that? Like me, I got plenty of reasons, okay? Like if I was like, Meg, I'm out, like I got branded, hockey pucked, fucking cut my hair off, it's understandable a little bit more.
Yeah.
Than Sherri Papini, whose life was going miraculously well. Financials were fine. They had a house, the kids, everyone was in good health. They're young. She's beautiful. She's talking to her fucking side bays. Like, what?
Well, the other thing too, the crazy thing about it is like this guy helped her because of what she told him. What did she say? She was trying to get away from her husband because she was being abused.
And physically abused.
Yeah. So now you're telling these other people that your husband's a piece of shit when...
Just to get what she wanted.
Yeah, just to get what she wanted, to manipulate this other man into doing what she want.
But like, for what?
I don't know.
Like, manipulate him into letting you live with him for 3 weeks?
She rented the car that they traveled into to go to Costa Mesa, and that's where they were at. They drove to Costa Mesa, and they were chilling in his apartment. She did it all.
My guy was completely taken advantage of. And like, what really maybe shows how like manipulative she is that she convinced this dude to like do these things to her with her so that she could have this plot and go back to her family. I'll give it to you straight. This guy in the police like body cam and the interviews, he doesn't seem the brightest. You know, he works at the hockey rink, he plays hockey, he's probably had a few concussions. Like, he's probably easily manipulated.
Which is sad, because she knew that probably.
Absolutely. And they asked him, they're like, did you like want to get back with her? And he was like, well, no, like we weren't even like at that point yet. You know, I was just trying to help her out of like this situation where her husband was like hurting her.
And I kind of called it, she wanted to disappear. So is your life really that great? Is it? Because why would you want to, it just,
right.
Why would you want to do all this? Again, why? Why
Right.
Why take it to this length? Why? And then go back and then be like, I need my husband. Bitch, you were just saying to another guy that he abuses you. This is like 4 years later.
Yeah. When they finally get the DNA, they finally find out who is the guy. They go and interview him and they're like, we fucking got this bitch, right? Yeah. So they call her in for interviews and she has her husband, Keith, next to her the whole time. And they're like giving her a chance. They're like, are you sure you want to do this when Keith's here? Are you sure you want Keith to hear what's about to go on? basically saying like, bitch, we fucking know. The detectives are giving her this out like, are you sure you want Keith to be here? Because we got the DNA back and it's from James Reyes. And she is still committing to the fucking bitch.
Dude.
It couldn't be James. It couldn't be James. It couldn't be James. James would never abduct me.
He loves me. He loves me. But she admitted to flirting with other men, but then she was still like, no, it was the two women. But he loves me. Bitch.
Like, it was a surprise to her. It was James' DNA on her shit.
Yeah.
How could this happen? She's fully still committed to the bit.
Mm-hmm.
They call her out on her shit and literally send her fucking home. And Keith, her husband, whose mind has been blown, allegedly.
Well, he leaves the interview after they kind of spill everything. He leaves. He gets up and leaves.
Yes, but they have gone on for 6 years from the time that she's that to the interview of like, this is the truth. So he comes out actually a month ago and talks about like how fucking she played the part for 6 years. The trauma, the drama, the panic attacks, everything for 6 fucking years. Again, the dedication is unmatched.
I don't even think he filed for divorce until 2022, though. So this interview with them spilling the shit was like August 2020.
Right.
He doesn't file for divorce for another 2 fucking years. Dude, I'd be out filing for divorce that motherfucking day, dog.
During the interview, when Keith first finds out that this is, your life is a lie, he is like telling the detectives, well, are you going to arrest her? Like, I don't want her to go back with me. I don't want her to run my fucking kids. Like, I think he was having those feelings. But again, let's talk about how manipulative she was. Or your theory that he knows more. I need to hear you out on this of how, because I feel bad for this guy. Like, I'm feeling it. I'm believing him. But again, all men are trash. So who really fucking knows? So I can't wait to hear your thoughts.
I feel like he was just in that initial interview, like he finds the phone, he finds the hair and the headphones. The audio recording of him on the phone with the police, he's very calm. Maybe not very calm, but more calm than you would be. If I went outside and your shit was in the yard and I'm like, where the fuck is Danny? I'm going to lose my shit.
Especially if my hair was in it.
Especially if your fucking hair was in it. He's just like, yeah, I think my wife's missing. I don't know. It's just
think someone
some
took
shit
her
on the phone or some shit on the floor I found, and just like
instantly snaps the picture. Like, it's like so planted in a way that like, would you be like, oh, I need to get evidence of this? No, like, is she in the fucking bush? Is
she gonna pop out at me?
Like, where? Like, weird.
I don't know. Maybe he's just.
But like, what would his motive be to be involved with this? I do know that they got government funding for her, like, to kind of heal through this whole situation, and they got the $50,000 through GoFundMe. But goddamn, there's more ways to get money.
I just don't understand how he didn't see it. She changed her story like so many times too, and it was always in front of him. Like, she was telling different stories, and he was there every single fucking time because she wouldn't do an interview without him. How the fuck do you not? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just so like, there's no way that he didn't, at least in his mind, go, what the fuck is going on?
He came out in this interview a month ago and said when he first saw her in the hospital, pulled back the curtain, and she was bruised up, short hair, branded, beaten, skinny, all of the things, he thought she was lying when he looked into her eyes. And that's not what he said in any interview for years. So now he's saying it, but human behavior, we do weird things to justify internally why we did things, whatever, right?
And sometimes we don't want to see the truth.
True.
I get it.
And she was manipulative.
And we don't know. He maybe abused her. We really don't know.
She told friends and family that he did. Or a friend or something.
Like before all that even happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm just getting a little...
But like, what would
feeling.
his motive be, though, of being involved? That's what I'm not seeing.
Yeah, maybe not.
Unless it's financial.
Money, and then like he knows he's gonna maybe divorce her, so money that way. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe he's just fucking stupid and just really just couldn't put the pieces together. But again, in his interview, like you said, I knew she was lying. Well, if you knew this bitch was lying for 6 motherfucking years, 6 years, dog, you didn't leave. You didn't be like,
save your children.
Exactly. And then some of her like injuries, like I think they were a little sketchy. And I think the way that she was like tied up when they found her, they were like, it didn't make sense the way she was tied up. And then she was able to wave a fucking shirt when your hands are.
Maybe Keith believed her because, like, who the fuck makes that up? The details and the branding. Like, I could be like, your story's not really adding up, but you went through a lot of trauma, but like the branding. I'm like, nobody could do that to themselves. And this is his wife. This is someone that he's known for years. Like, I couldn't see that. Like, I would probably believe them, their story, because it's just so off the wall. An interesting little fun fact came out in some of my research. Sherri admits to the detectives that she's a fan of true crime. She read Elizabeth Smart's book, who was held captive with the pole, with the cord, with the chain, with the whole bit.
Yeah.
And it's just like, is this fucking play about us? Because, like,
I guess, like, I'm just such a jaded ass bitch, and I just think that everyone's lying and everyone's shady and not trusting people. So
yeah, your guard's always up. And of course, it's like easier to look back and like see that. But,
right.
And we are true crime people. So we're like, nope, that's not. Where maybe Keith, who works at Best Buy, isn't. I don't know. It doesn't. For what? That's all I can say. Like, for fucking what? Like, for what? Just to feel something? I get it, but you didn't have to hockey puck.
Yeah, you could have done way more other things.
Yeah.
And not
broken the law.
So, like, there's another documentary that is on Hulu, and it's about a girl who got kidnapped, but people didn't believe her.
It's on Netflix.
Or it's on Netflix now?
Yeah.
Sorry, okay. But it's on Netflix, and, like,
in Northern California.
Yeah, same area. And then she wasn't believed because we have fucking Sherri fucking Papini lying about being abducted. And then now you're putting this like gray cloud over other things when people are telling the fucking truth
about
and things
real
actually
victims.
Fucking happen to them and they're actually fucking traumatized. Meanwhile, your fucking crazy ass is over here hurting yourself.
Over here for fun.
All for funsies.
Yeah, and just taking away like real victims.
Real victims.
Yeah. That other one on Netflix is called American Nightmare. And it is another crazy story. And I didn't believe it.
I didn't either.
When I was watching. I was mind blown. And like, why do we have this like thing ingrained in us where we don't believe these people? And it's because of people like Sherri Papini, who people in this community have donated like time, effort, energy, and money. And then she's just like, gotcha. Happy Thanksgiving, you dumbass bitch. So
we have enough problems with victim blaming or like and victim shaming and not believing people. Like we already have that fucking problem. And then people like you, dumbass bitch,
Go and be a dumbass bitch.
Exactly.
And in that community specifically, when they released the sketch drawings and the descriptions of her abductors, it really affected the Hispanic and Latino community.
They were fucking scared.
And I'm going to have to fact check this part, but I believe that some information came out about Sherri Papini. And in high school, she was pretty much like with these Nazi skinhead type of crowd and had very publicly had racist remarks towards people of color.
Sick. So she's a racist.
Yeah.
Awesome. Love that.
Right. And it just sucks. Like, it's like more believable if you say that it's like a person of color who abducted me. If she was like, yeah, 2 white women came in a Suburban or a SUV and did this, like people are like, but if you put someone with someone of color, then it's like, oh, we need to protect white women from people of color. Like, and that whole thing too, which is just so harmful. Like, she harmed so many people and she really contributed to like all of these stereotypes and like so much harm, like not only to herself, you fucking weirdo, but her kids, that man, the police department, people's money, her family, like everything. And that dude down in Southern California who like helped her, ? but also hit her with a hockey puck. Like, I don't fucking know, man. How does one woman just cause so much shit for what?
For what? So she eventually gets arrested March of like, I think 2022. Prosecutors said that her fucking hoax kidnapping cost taxpayers more than $300,000 in wasted resources, including money that she collected from the California Victims Compensation Board and Social Security disability income.
Right.
$300 motherfucking $1,000 because you're a fucking dumbass, weird psycho bitch.
Yeah. And then
holy shit.
Yeah. And then she got like help for the PTSD and the state like paid for all of that. And then she couldn't work because all of the trauma that she went through. So they paid her disability.
Yeah.
So she was charged and had to pay restitution of that $300,000.
Yep.
And was sentenced to 18 months in prison.
Mm-hmm. She got mail fraud and false statements.
She only served 10 months, I believe. And she was released.
My eyes rolling into my head.
It's twitching into your
head. It's literally
like,
fucking, bro.
She got 10 months and was released in February 2024. Just a member of society. It's out here and about here.
Damn, dude.
And she's recently been in court because she is suing Keith, her now ex-husband, for money, basically saying that she didn't get any money during the divorce, and he's saying that the money went to like other things and the money is gone. So
yeah,
but she has a new boyfriend.
Yay, good for her.
And they lived happily ever after.
What the fuck is wrong with that guy? You good, dog?
He's not, truly. That is like the tale of Sherri Papini. Like, she caused a bunch of chaos and hurt herself and others and the community for what? We don't know. I just put it in the comments if you do, because I want to hear. I'm perplexed.
I want to hear what people think, like the reason why, because like I sat here for days. I'm like, what the fuck was the point of this?
Yeah.
What the fuck was the point? You were a racist ass bitch. You hurt yourself. You tarnished your family. You
traumatized your kids. Branded yourself. You got to have that every day.
Gotta look at that every fucking day, dude.
Well, it's on her shoulders. So
maybe not.
I know. Stupid.
Guy hitting it from the back, though. Exodus.
Pull out. Dog, pull out. Pull fucking out is like the only.
Abort.
Literally pull out. Like, if you see that shit, like, if it says Exodus, you fucking exit this.
Yes. Exodus
immediately.
This vagina.
You want no, not inbreeding. You want no reproduction with this woman. Like, I swear.
Yo.
Oh, no. But
she did herself.
If the fucking shoe fits, if the branding makes sense, stamp it on me.
Like, you know, she might find a guy that's really into that. So Bible.
Apparently she did.
Yeah.
I wonder if she like tells him like the story.
But he has to know. Like, you know,
some people don't, man.
Yeah. Look her up. Give her a Google, please. Google Sherri.
Her name's
Papini.
like Sharon Pepita. You never know. God bless America. So, yeah, I guess everybody lived happily ever after. You know, Keith has moved on. He does not talk to her. They're dealing with money stuff in court, which, like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, get some interviews. Oh, but you can't profit from your crimes. But Keith could write a book.
Yeah.
Or do interviews.
He said now he's just focused on trying to be happy, living his life, taking care of his kids.
Yeah. And they asked him, like, are you happier now? And he's like, no. Like, the
Truer words have never been spoken.
No,
my dude.
Like, I'm not. Like, my whole fucking world got switched upside down overnight. And, like, no. Like, take me back. Like, I had the perfect life and wife, allegedly. So, with that, I think we covered it all. Like, believe all victims. You know, unfortunately, we get to the bottom of it if they're lying after 6 years and $300,000 wasted. But, like, we believe people.
And I think we still should. Like, I don't think, like, this sumbitch, again, like, should ruin it for people who actually have been kidnapped or, kidnapped and murdered. Whatever the situation is. But think about all those people that have had things that happen to them. Think about the family members that have dealt with things happening to their loved ones. And you're literally shitting on all of it. Fuck me up, bro.
Yeah. God bless America. On that note, join us another time. I'm not promising days anymore, man. Like, things are unwell. The world is at unrest, and we're just doing our best here. So we'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's soon after this. If you are seeing this video for the first time and just found us, please like and subscribe. If you are listening on Spotify, please come over and see us on YouTube. I've changed my hair color, so maybe you want to come see it. I don't know. So with that, until next time, stay curious and stay skeptical. Thanks for watching.